Good morning and welcome to P&B Sports Show. I'm your host, Aroko Tom. It's going to be another massive night in the UEFA Champions League. Tomorrow, it's not just about history, it's about survival, positioning, and early decision making under pressure. 3 heavyweight fixture headlines Wednesday night, and every single one of them has serious implications for the top 8 rates, automatic qualifications, and the dreaded playoffs. Paris Saint-Germain take on Newcastle United in a straight shootout for positioning. Chelsea travel to Naples knowing that one sleep could undo weeks of hard work. And Manchester City host Galatasaray in a must-win encounter that could decide whether City control their destiny or depend on others. This morning, we are not just previewing matches, we're breaking down how this team should approach these games tactically, psychologically, and strategically. Joining me for this deep dive are our in-house analyst, Abel Sunday, and from Lagos, respected sports analyst and journalist, Walter Odige. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning, and thank you, Tom.
Can you be more audible?
Can't you hear me, Tom? Can you hear me now?
Well, it seems we can't hear you. Are you sure it's not the network at your end? Because the last I heard you were somewhere in Chad or Benin Republic.
You will always want to pin it on my network. Can you hear me now?
Okay, so right now we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we are going to be talking about Wednesday night's UEFA Champions League fixtures and what it means for every team and their encounter. So don't go anywhere because P&B Sports Show will be right back. Welcome back to P&B Sports Show. I hope that now we have Abel on the line and we can actually hear him. Abel, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Can you hear me clearly now?
Perfect. You know, sometimes the weight of this TV station cannot carry your personality. So we have to adjust and readjust.
You will always be Tom. That's what you always say. You are always Tom. If you don't say that, how will I know that it's Tom that is talking? Well, thank you so much for having me this morning.
It's always a pleasure, always a pleasure. So let's get right into it. Manchester City versus Galatasaray. Manchester City, they are 11th right now on the UEFA Champions League table with 13 points. And I think we are seeing 8 teams with 13 points as well. From your own opinion, what do you think about this matchup? Because Manchester City, you know, they will need to win this match to move into the top 8, and it also depends on how many goals they score against a team like Galatasaray, because there are obviously 8 teams with 13 points as well as them. And also Galatasaray, they will also need this win as well, you know, for them to move closer to the playoff zone, because it will be putting pressure on the teams that will be ranked either from 9th to 24th. So what is your own opinion, and how do you think that Manchester City should approach this game moving forward?
Well, I think it's going to be a very tough and very interesting game tomorrow, having Galatasaray playing Manchester City. But the game could go either way. The reason why I said that is because with the form of Galatasaray recently, and you match the form of Manchester City also, you could now say, okay, we will depend on to the side of Galatasaray, because we have one Osimhen there that has been firing goals since he even returned back from AFCON. So you with that you could say, okay, fine, Galatasaray could have the better day. But again, we can't forget Erling Haaland as well. Erling Haaland has been formidable despite he has been so quiet this season. But you cannot take away the quality of Erling Haaland as well. So I think that game was very, very interesting. But I just want to see what Pep Guardiola is going to do with his boys this time around the Champions League. But I think that game will be very, very tactical. And Galatasaray is going into that game with their head high up, because why? They have a very good league form. But can they translate that into Champions League form? Because that's another ball game entirely. You doing so well in league does not guarantee that you do so well in Champions League. And then we'll see that over and over. Madrid are beating that over and over again. Even when Madrid have an abysmal performance in the league, when they come to Champions League, it's something different. So I could see Manchester City doing so well, but can they withstand the fire force of Victor Osimhen? That's the question we ask him.
Okay, and it seems like this one is going to be a real challenge for the Nigeria striker and Galatasaray superstar Victor Osimhen. But moving forward, Walter, welcome and good morning to the show. It seems you are muted.
Yeah, I was muted. Good morning.
Good morning, our ever handsome and good-looking sports analyst and journalist all the way from Lagos. Odogu Parara of sports. Okay, so let's dive right into it. We are seeing a Manchester City side that is 11th and they have 13 points. I think for the first time in a very long time, we are seeing 8 teams having 13 points, and the only thing separating them is the goal difference. You know, this win is going to be boosting Manchester City to the top 8. And for Galatasaray, you know, they are on 10 points right now. And once they get this win, they're also going to be moving up to some extent, depending on the result of other teams. How do you think that Galatasaray and Manchester United should approach this match moving forward on Wednesday night?
Yes, Manchester City, I think, is a must-win game for them because, you know, they don't want to go through the stress of having to play, what's it called now? Having to play the additional 2 games that comes with the playoffs. Because if you don't finish in the top 8, you finish from 9th to 24th position, you will have to play the playoffs. And Manchester City, they don't want that playoffs right now because they know they are going to be in a title race against Arsenal, and they want to keep their players as fresh as possible. So they will try everything that they can to, you know, win that game tomorrow, because they will try everything that they can to avoid the playoffs. But do I think they can win that game tomorrow? I don't know. To be honest with you, I really don't know, because Manchester City, they've had defensive issues. Real defensive issues. They have, as we speak, they have Kovacic out. They have Rodri, of course, is out of the game because of red card. They have Diaz out. They have Ake out. They have this player. I've forgotten his name now. They have a lot of players. They have about 8 defensive players out ahead of this game tomorrow. So it's something that would destabilize them. Now, in the Premier League, of course, they've signed a central back in McVeigh, but he's not able to play tomorrow. They've signed an attacker in Semenyo. He's also not going to be able to play tomorrow. So the team is a bit short at this moment in this Champions League. But I still think they have enough to, you know, want to win the game. They have enough to try and win this game. But will they win the game? I don't know. I can't give you my word that Manchester City is going to win the game. So that's that for Manchester City. Why for Gala? They also need to win, because now Gala wants to qualify for the for the playoffs round. They want to stand a chance to qualify for the playoff round, and that is a big and important moment for Galatasaray, because if they go out, if they exit the Champions League from the league phase, I don't think that would be good enough for them, because they've spent a lot of money. They brought about 5 players this summer, including spending up to 70 million euros on Victor Osimhen. So the fans would want value for their money. So I think it's going to be a very, very good game. But I'll be going for a draw in this game, because I don't see how that Manchester City backline will be able to stop Galatasaray attacking force from Victor Osimhen, Sliorissani, Akam, and all the rest. So I think it's going to be a show, because Manchester City, in as much as they have a very good attack that can hurt you any day, anytime during the game, I think their defense right now, they have about, like I said earlier, they have about 8 defensive first-team players out. So their defense right now will just let them down tomorrow.
Okay, so please, can we pull up the Champions League table? And from what you've said, if we are expecting a draw from them, a draw would move Man City to 14 points, likely leaving them in playoff spot, while Galatasaray would have reached 11 points, giving them a better chance at securing a playoff position. In your own opinion, Abel, how do you think Manchester City will should break down the Galatasaray low block moving forward in the match?
Well, I think Man City have the quality, but well, I think this game what will really influence this game is from the midfield. They can hold their own on the midfield very well. I think they are going to do so well because they have a very good. There should be a link up between the midfield and also the attack. And you know when you give Erling Haaland anything close to the goal, you know what he can do. He's a very good finisher. You just have to bury it. You just pray that he should have a very good, he should be in a very good form tomorrow and finish anything that comes his way. That's just it. But I think tactically, I would give Pep the day tomorrow because tactically, I think Pep is well sound and he's somebody that has been playing Champions League for a very long time now, so you understand how the game goes. But what I spoke about their defensive troubles, which is very, very correct. But by blood, I think they have the quality to cover for it. That's just it. Is it not just Galatasaray? But that's what we say.
But the same, you are saying, is it not just? Sorry to cut you short, Abel. You are saying, is it not just Galatasaray? The same thing when they played Bodo Glimt. We said, is it not just Bodo Glimt? And we were surprised with the outcome of that match.
But there's a game that I think we are not even talking about and we're not paying attention to, which I think it will be more explosive tomorrow. Napoli versus Chelsea. If you recall, these two segments.
Hold on. I know you are in a hurry because you are supporting Napoli and you don't want Chelsea to win that match. I remember when we spoke about it.
I'm not even a fan of any of the club. I am not.
Okay.
But I'm only telling you the mention things that have happened.
Okay. So let's go over to Walter. Walter, what do you think the problem is for Man City? A Man City side that played Bodo Glimt and they had an abysmal performance. They didn't perform well at all. We expected more from a team like Man City. And also, don't you think that Erling Haaland needs somebody to service him that ball or to pass him that ball? Because we won't lie, Erling Haaland is a person that needs that ball pass. He's not the type of person that you need to that usually creates the goal for himself. So what do you think? Who do you think is going to be that person that is going to step up and say, you know what, I'm either going to take the attention of Erling Haaland and be the striker that we need, or I'm going to service this ball to Erling Haaland?
Two things is key tomorrow: Erling Haaland and the midfield. Because as for the defense, I think it's bad. I think that's the problem of Manchester City right now. For defensive midfield backboard, I think they are short in that position. Honestly, any team would be short when you don't have Nico Gonzalez. They signed him 70 million last January and he's out. They have Rodri, the world best player, he is out. They have Kovacic and his quality is out. Those are the three central midfielders or defensive midfielders they have in that team. They are all out. They have Diaz, Ake, and how am I leaving his name out now? So they have good defensive players that are out of that game, and that's a big concern because you saw them against Man U, they were all over the place. Good and fine. When they attacked Manchester United, they were better. They attacked with tension, they attacked with purpose. You could feel that they could score at any time of the game. That is what Manchester City will always do because they have a lot of good attacking players. They have Alan, they have Foden, they have Silva, they have what's it called? Those boys, grinders. So they have a lot of good attacking players, but defensively, that's where they are currently being hit. And they've fixed that in the Premier League. They brought in McGrady, but he cannot play now till till the round of 16 proper. So it's sad for them. It's just the reality that they have to face now. But yes, Manchester City should still beat Galatasaray. But we should not forget that it's not just Galatasaray. In as much as this Galatasaray team has beaten Liverpool this season, they've held Atletico Madrid this season. They are a very good side and they signed players. They spent about 150 million. There's so much transfer window and a lot is expected from them. They have stars that can hurt Man City, especially when you about Manchester City defensive problems. So I think they can take advantage of that.
I think one thing I can say about you, Walter, is I like your belief in the Manchester City side. But you know, we have to cut that belief down because of the performance of Manchester United against Manchester City. But right now, we're going to be going on a short break. And when we come back, we are going to be discussing Napoli versus Chelsea and what this win or loss means for both teams moving forward. So don't go anywhere, because P&B Sports Show. Okay, welcome back to P&B Sports Show. Now we're going to be diving into the Napoli versus Chelsea match, and I know that Abel is eager to talk about this particular one. For Chelsea, you know, they held the final automatic qualification spot at 8th place on 13 points. Like I rightly said earlier, we have 8 teams on 13 points, while Napoli, they are 25th point with 8 points. What's your opinion, Abel? You know, if Chelsea win this match, they are going to, you know, hold their position down. But if they lose this match, it seems like all the weeks of hard work is going to be thrown down the drain. While for Napoli, we might be seeing a Napoli side that just wants to play the spoiler against Chelsea. So what's your opinion? How do you think that Chelsea should approach this match alongside Napoli?
Yeah, I think this game, among the fixtures tomorrow, I think this game to be one of the toughest, and because of probably their history. Napoli has played, they played Chelsea, I think that's 2012, and we'll see what happened. I think Cavani is playing that. It ended, first leg was 3-2, sorry, 3-1. Napoli won home, then they went to Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea won that game 4-0. It's a clash of the Titans, if you ask me. And with the degree of the quality of the team, and then we have the likes of Drogba. We also have some couple of good players in the Chelsea team, and also we have like Cavani, you know, also the Napoli team. But fast forward to now, considering the fact that Napoli is fighting the game of their life, they are fighting the moment of their life. They want to be, they want to stay in the playoff. They don't want to go down just like that. And considering the fact that they have a coach in person of what is his name again?
Strasbourg. I like to call him Strasbourg.
I'm talking about the Napoli.
Okay, the Napoli side.
Napoli coach.
Okay.
Yes, yes, very, very, very good coach, and you could see his performances even when he took over the head of affairs in Napoli. He has rebranded that team so well. I'm telling you. So I could see this game that Chelsea, and consider the fact that Chelsea is what, you know, he coached Chelsea before. Chelsea is also his former team, and I could see a very, very dicey situation tomorrow. But I think the better side to win the game. But Chelsea will be hopeful, and I think they have the pedigree since this their new coach. You say Stamford, right? But Stamford is not his name. It's from Stamford. But I see Chelsea improving with this man. Honestly, since he came on board, he only lost to Arsenal since he came on board. But I can see Chelsea improving, and I could see that that tomorrow game is going to be one of the.
So it's going to be a tactical game. We are going to be seeing Antonio Conte versus Liam Rossignol.
But a drop of Chelsea will also give them some kind of pity. I think so.
Okay, fantastic. Moving forward, you've seen their performances, Abel. You saw the way they performed against a team like Manchester. You can see the way they performed against the teams that they've played in recent times. Do you think that their build-up to this particular match is going to help them? Yes, we know that the Premier League is different from the Champions League, but how do you think that they should approach this match? Do you think that they should say, you know what, let's just attack these people, let's try to get as many goals in, let's score more than them? Or do you think that they should play a low block and say, you know what, let's just play the counter against these guys?
But I think playing a coach like Antonio Conte, you cannot just say you want to just sit down and look. Antonio Conte is a very, very tactical coach. Playing Antonio Conte, you cannot just sit down and say play over and hit him on counter. Antonio Conte is I would call it the 11th or 12th man on the pitch. He plays alongside his player. If you watch him always, he always run alongside. He plays alongside his player, and that brings a spice to Antonio Conte's side. You could see how he cheer them up, push them out, and for them to get that result. But by and large, I have this so much conviction that Chelsea will also do well tomorrow. I have this conviction that they're going to take it, no matter what happens.
Okay. Walter, I have a feeling that the same conviction that Abel has is not the same conviction that you have at all. How do you think that Chelsea should approach? How do you think that Chelsea should approach? No. See, right now, he's not a Man U fan. He's just a sports analyst.
You guys will not want to look at it. You want to be sentimental about the movie. You want to look at what is on the table. He's a Man U fan. I know Walter very well.
Okay. So let's hear Abel. Let's hear from the horse's mouth. Walter, how do you think Liam Rossignol should approach an Antonio Conte in the match on Wednesday night?
I think, to be honest with you, Chelsea should be easily getting my prediction, but I don't trust Chelsea. They've proven that they cannot be trusted. Certainly in the Champions League this season, they can go and beat Barca, one of the games.
Do you trust Man U, Walter? Do you trust Man U?
Man U, see, Abel, please let's leave Walter to talk, because I think Man U is a team that have consistently beaten the biggest teams in the Premier League and in the world at large. So let's leave Walter. Walter, please.
Yes, I trust.
With their performance, you should trust Man U. With their performance, you should trust Man U. But how do you think Liam Rossignol should approach this match?
He has to attack Napoli. He has to, from the get-go. It's an away game. It's important to note, but he has to come out and.
Are you there?
They don't give them anything. Yes, you can't hear me.
We can hear you.
So don't give them any respect. Chelsea should not give them any respect. Don't make them feel like they are in charge of the game. You have to attack from the get. Then hopefully you can cap that off with the goal as early as possible, because it's an easy game for Chelsea. This is a Napoli side watch.
Well, I think his network is bad. I think this is another person that is somewhere in Chad, as Mr. Abel is in Benin Republic. But Abel, moving forward, I think moving forward, in 1 minute, we have a PSG that is going to be playing Newcastle. And this is obviously a head-to-head clash on the match day 8, which will be very, very critical, as both teams have 13 points, which means either way the pendulum falls, somebody is going to be falling short on that day. How do you think that PSG should approach this match in 1 minute? And what is your scoreline prediction?
PSG should go all out, and I trust Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is going to go all out. PSG should go all out from Newcastle. They have the players to do whatever they want to do. We'll have a certain what's his name again? The Mbali there that have been doing so well. You could see his goal last 2 weeks. He almost made top 5 of our top 5 goals. Sorry. In Ball of Fire. You saw his goal, the very good, fantastic. I think PSG can do it over Newcastle anytime, any day. But they just have to go all out. Don't sit back, wait. They have the personnel to feel that it's tomorrow.
So what's your scoreline? What's your scoreline prediction? 2-0. So you do not expect a Newcastle side to win or score?
There's nothing new in the castle. Please.
Oh, okay.
2-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Walter, what do you think about this match? How should PSG and Newcastle approach this match moving forward? And we hope that this time your network will not affect us, because I don't think you're in Lagos anymore. I think you've moved to somewhere in Chad.
I'll go for a PSG win also. PSG win 2-1. I'll go 2-3. Let me say 3-1, because PSG are a far better team than Newcastle at this moment in time, and Newcastle are not informed. They just lose at home to Aston Villa. So I'll go for PSG to win that game comfortably.
Okay. But as we can see, you rightly take note that PSG is a team that have Wissa, you know, they have Anthony Gordon, they have Harvey Barnes, they have really good players. And in their last match, you can see that.
That's why I gave them one goal. April did not give them
Fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen, for your in-depth analysis here on P&B Sports Show. And I'm going to hold you all to your words on the results of these matches. But Walter, before you go, Chelsea, do you think what is the scoreline? What is the scoreline for you for Chelsea? I just said a 3-0. Is that correct?
Before they say I'm biased, 2-1 win for Chelsea.
Okay, 2-1 win. Abel, what's your scoreline prediction for Chelsea?
3-0, Chelsea win.
3-0, okay. There was your scoreline prediction, Abel, as well for Man City.
Man City, I see 1-0 Galatasaray.
I see a draw. Walter, what's your? I see a draw. Walter, what's your opinion on Man City?
2-2 draw. 2-2 draw. Osimhen to score 1.
Thank you. You are a patriot. Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen. It's always fantastic having these men on the show because you know that they will always deliver when they need to deliver. But before we wrap up, it's time for our athlete of the day. And today we celebrate Pape Thiaw, Senegalese football manager and former international, currently the head coach of the Senegal national team, appointed in December 2024. Thiaw stepped into a role filled with pressure and expectation. Not only did he stabilize the team, he guided Senegal to victory at the 2025 Cup of Nations, blending tactical discipline, emotional intelligence, and belief. A former forward, Thiaw understands attacking balance, but what has defined his coaching is structure, clarity, and trust in African talent. He represents a new generation of African coaches, modern, composed, and fearless. That leadership, that vision, and that continental success is why Pape Thiaw is our personality of the day here on P&B Sports Show. Well, that brings us to the end of today's edition of the P&B Sports Show. Champions League night expectations like this remind us that football is not just played with feet, it's played with decision, mentality, and preparations. My thanks to Abel Sunday, our in-house sports analyst and my boss, and also Walter Odigie joining us all the way from Lagos for their sharp insights. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
My pleasure.
Always a pleasure. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms for more in-depth analysis, conversations, breakdown and stories, and expert opinion. On YouTube at Politics&BusinessTV.English, on Facebook at Politics&BusinessTV.English, on Instagram at P&B TV_English, and on X, formerly Twitter, at P&B TV_ENG. I'm Arokotom. Thank you for watching. For myself and our entire team here in Abuja, it's